Mhm. I must say, it is awkward with you in here. Anyways, welcome to. No, you don't have to leave. It's okay. It's okay. You could stay in here. Welcome to my diary. It's called Nikki's Diary. It's the name of my channel. I want to thank everybody for listening. I'm still talking about fitness because that's what I'm doing right now. In my last video, I kind of talked about how you can start your fitness journey. And by the end of my video, even though it cut me off, so nobody really knows what I was going to talk about, but I was going to talk about my very difficult month-long, AKA quote unquote, diet and workout regimen. I am currently on day 3. And for those of you that are curious, I do count my macros. And if some of you don't know what your macros are, they are your macronutrients, which is your protein, carbs, and fat. Normally, I track all 3 of those like to a T, but this time around, I am focusing on my protein and having low carb and low fat. So for my protein, I'm actually only taking, only taking in 150 grams of protein, which is kind of a lot to some people, but when you're counting your macros, you want to make sure that you're getting in your body weight of protein. And I'm also in a calorie deficit. I'm probably more of an extreme calorie deficit than I would recommend for someone to do. I'm not going to tell you what my deficit is just because I don't want anybody to think that they can do the same thing. Um, So yeah, being in a calorie deficit helps with your fitness journey in regard to like weight loss. If weight loss is your main goal, then you do want to have a calorie deficit. You're wanting to burn also as much as you're consuming. Some people have difficulty figuring out what kind of protein they can eat. It's not just chicken and steak. You can get it from egg whites, which I eat egg whites every single morning. There's fish, chicken, steak, turkey, shrimp. You can even get it from peanut butter. And also one thing that I know a lot of people don't eat is tofu, but you can get a lot of protein from tofu. And tofu is really low in calories and fat and carbs, which all protein should be low in carbs. But some protein can be higher in fat. I do take in turkey bacon, which I like turkey bacon better than regular bacon. But you can have regular bacon if that's what you want. I would just be careful with the amount of fat that's in like bacon, pork-based bacon. For counting your carbs, I do take in carbs. I'm a carb eater. I like rice, noodles, all of that stuff. Right now, I'm not really eating it because of the goals that I want to hit. But when you're starting out, you can have carbs, you can have rice, you can have noodles, you can have potatoes. As long as you're counting them and staying in within your numbers, then you're more than welcome to have most of the carbs that you want to eat. Now, when you're getting really down to the nitty gritty and you want to have good carbs that are going to be beneficial to your body, then you're going to want to have complex carbs, which complex carbs would be carrots, red potatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, and you can also get it from your fruit. I would just be careful with fruit because there is a lot of natural sugar. It is better than eating candy, but for people who really do want to pay attention to their sugar intake, I would not recommend eating a lot of fruit in your diet. Although, if you are craving something sweet, I would tell you to eat fruit over candy or ice cream. Now, I'm on day 3, and it feels like it's been 3 months. Just kidding. But how I feel with my 3rd day, it truly sucks. It's not fun. I don't want to say that I'm not enjoying it, but I'm kind of not enjoying it just because I really am going to an extreme on this go around. Again, I would not recommend anybody to do it the way that I'm doing it right now. I actually used to make fun of other people that would do it this way because I don't want to say it's a toxic mindset, but it's a good way to set up yourself for failure. If you're trying to make this into a lifestyle, I wouldn't recommend doing it this way. I would do it in a gradual, healthy manner, which I can also go over that because that's what I used to do and I still got a lot of results. I wouldn't be so knowledgeable if I wouldn't have done it the right way in the beginning. Because if I would have started this way, I probably would have given up on this day. Because I still have those feelings of wanting to give up, even being knowledgeable with fitness and nutrition. The way that I feel, I'm very tired when you're on a low carb diet. Your brain at least thrives off of carbohydrates, and being on a low carb diet, you're not getting those carbs, so your body is kind of finding ways to have brain power in different aspects of what you're taking in. So if you're not taking in a lot of carbs, your body's going to go somewhere else to get that energy from. So yes, I am tired. I cut out a lot of my caffeine, mainly because caffeine does dehydrate you. And again, it's not the best in regard to your heart health. But if you're gonna take in caffeine, I would probably do it from black coffee. I actually noticed in regard to this whole journey and cutting out a lot of the stuff. I didn't realize that I don't want to say addicted to candy, but man, do I love candy. When you're working in a workplace and there's a bunch of offices, and every office you go into, there's candy, you're at least going to take one piece. And one piece can turn into two, and two can turn into three. And you catch my drift. I stopped eating candy at work because obviously it's not going to benefit me in any way. But I didn't realize how much I was craving it. I made it into a habit and taking at least one piece of candy at work. So that's kind of hard to do, especially when there's candy in your actual office and it's just sitting there. It's really hard not to just grab a piece when you're standing there talking to someone, or if someone asks, "Hey, can I have a piece?" You automatically think, "Oh, well, they had a piece. I'm going to have a piece." That's probably one of the hardest things that is what I'm noticing while I'm at work. Watching others eat foods that I want to eat is actually a lot harder than I thought. Watching my son eat his candy and eat all his little junk food. He was eating pizza yesterday, and man, did I want a piece of it. That's one of the hardest things that I have noticed, is just watching other people eat. And then I also just advice for any type of fitness journey. You can't go into it thinking that people are going to expect to be on the same diet that you are. So I try my hardest to not judge anybody that's eating certain types of foods. Um, Obviously, if you're a good friend, I'm going to give you a hard time. But at the end of the day, I don't care. But I know some people feel like, okay, if I'm going to be on a diet, everybody else is going to be on a diet, especially if you have a family. Just because you're doing it doesn't mean that everybody else has to do it or wants to do it. So that's one thing that I work every day to try and not do, is tell other people, like, you can't eat this because I can't eat it and I don't want to be around it. That's not fair. Fasting. I used to fast in the morning, and now I'm fasting at night, which I'm finding to be not as difficult as I imagined, but it really is hard. I'm fasting from at least 5 to the latest 6 o'clock. So my last meal will be by 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, I don't eat anything until probably 9 or 10 a.m. Fasting does benefit you in a lot of ways, like with your insulin levels. It'll also help with just weight loss in general. It's kind of like a body reset when you're in that fasting state. I don't know all the in and outs, but I just know the basics. And then also, I'm learning at least by day 3 that I am constantly thinking about food. I'm constantly thinking about my next meal because I do have a really small time frame on when I have to eat my food. So I'm finding myself like anticipating I just ate a meal. Now I'm going to anticipate what my next meal will be because I only have this much time left. So it gets kind of hard if I don't plan my food, my meals. So when you're starting this, you want to plan your meals. You want to be able to meal prep. And I know that some people don't want to do that because of the effort that you have to put in to make your food, but it really does set you up for success. And if you're not planning, I can promise you that you're going to give up so quick. Because I'm so dedicated, I don't really meal prep a lot, but I'm just more mindful of like I think about throughout the day what I'm going to eat. When I meal prep, it does make it a lot easier. When I'm at work, through the time that I am physically at work, it is easier for me to meal prep my foods just because I'm not eating like meals. I'm eating like a protein bar and then whatever I made for my breakfast or whatever I'm trying to eat for lunch. But now that I'm into this part of my journey and wanting to lose weight quickly, I do have to meal prep and I have to make sure that I am staying on track with what I'm eating every day. And then lastly, I suck at drinking water, but water is going to be a big, big, big way to get a lot of results that you want. It helps with lubricating your joints. So if you lift, it'll help you, I guess, lift easier. You'll be able to repair your muscles a lot quicker. It helps with soreness. It helps you from not being dehydrated. Water is just so good for your body. And anybody that knows me knows that I hate drinking water. So I will put flavor in my water every single time. There's not a time where I won't put flavor in my water. Now, if I'm super thirsty, yeah, I'll chug. I'll chug some water. And I also don't like to drink ice water. I have found out that ice water is not as good as just neutral, warm water. So that's what I'm doing. I'm drinking